out.
Look at that. What do we have here? Julius Meinl. Julius, oh Julius. Viennese coffee at its finest. What can I tell you? Today, something a little different. No fancy clothes. No fancy outfits to wear. My hair was not done by Hollywood. I'm just going to be talking about a couple of records. Couple of updates before that. And, of course, the obligatory thanks for tuning in. I am your lovable host, Danny K, SonicFlare. And, yeah, this is my Beatles in Mono old beat-up t-shirt. So, where are we? What's happening? Well, a couple of things. I am thinking about doing basically 2 episodes a week, where one episode on Sunday or Saturday is going to be like equipment review, and during the week there's going to be a midweek episode that's going to focus more on hi-fi news, record news, and record reviews or other media type reviews. What do you guys think of that? Drop a comment below. Let me hear your thoughts. Curious to see what you guys want to see. Second update, the studio. Good Lord. Man, I tell you, dealing with contractors is insanity. These guys are so hard to get a hold of. Not the contractor. The general contractor, I can get a hold of him any day of the week. The problem is there are all the subcontractors. Oh, I want another job. Oh, I'm starting a job here. And so here we are. It's March 8th, 2024. The studio project, building out Studio A, started the last week of December. And we're just now finally getting to the point where the taper is in and finishing taping the house or the room. Next week, I think they're going to start sanding. Then we're going to be putting the trim in. I think then the flooring. And then finally, electrician, AC, heat pump, all that stuff. And then paint. And I think, by Christmas this year, so in another, 6-7 months, I think we'll be moving in. So let's see if I can hold myself to that. Right. But now, let's get to the main topic of discussion, the records. There's been a couple of cool new records coming in. Let me start with a couple of oldies first. This is Nude by Camel, UK prog band. Really cool stuff. This is their 8th album, UK original. I believe it's on it's on Decca. This is on Decca because they switched to Decca after like album 2 or 3. And the theme of this essentially is a true story of a Japanese World War II soldier stuck on an island not knowing the war was over. So go figure. Mostly instrumental. Phenomenal sound. Just good old, I think this came out in 81. Good old prog, heavy, just good sound. Highly recommend it. Next up, Helen Merrill. This is a Japanese recording during her time in Japan with Dick Katz, Ron Carter, Jim Hall, of course. And great record. Helen Merrill. Not everything of hers is great. This particular one is nice recording quality. Very much envelops you. Not quite, she's in the room kind of feeling, but close to it. So, and it's not expensive. I mean, you can get this for like $10 on Discogs. And that's it for the records. I'm just kidding. You knew there was more coming. By the way of good old Roger Waters. Now, I'm pretty sure this record got panned universally, at least from what I've heard. And I don't know why. I think first of all, it sounds amazing. Very well recorded. He's 952 years old in here. But it's just very well recorded. Great sound. I like the reimagination of the themes that they put forth in Dark Side of the Moon. And yeah, double LP, phenomenal. Not expensive. Seriously, treat yourself. This is good. Next up, because actually, ironically enough, I just remembered as I was pulling this up. So this is electronic Jugoton. This is from my old country, Yugoslavia, double LP. So this is a 2 LP or a quad LP set, I guess, because there's another volume 1 that's supposed to be coming out. This is all electronic music from the old Yugoslavia. What you may not know, well, first of all, Helen Merrill, she's ex-Yugoslavia. She's a Croatian lady. So that's kind of an interesting sidebar from the Helen Merrill I was showing earlier. But what most people don't realize is, so Yugoslavia was the most liberal of all the former communist countries in the Eastern Bloc of Eastern Europe. And they had a very, very, very healthy art and music scene, including incredible jazz, classical music, of course, and then obviously, you know, Yugoslav prog rock, of course, the old Yugoslav folk songs and all that. That's obviously something that is inherent to their culture and the individual cultures of the countries that it was made up by, and republics, Croatia, Slovenia, Bosnia, Serbia, of course, Montenegro, Macedonia. But yeah, I mean, this is, believe it or not, this is really good stuff. So, you know, I'm unfamiliar with basically all of these guys. But I tell you, this is, considering that this was all done in Yugoslavia in the 80s, pretty cool stuff. If you're into it, drop a comment below. Check it out. Next up, this is really cool. So this is Pablo Bolivar and Nacho Sanchez, Distances, double LP on purple vinyl. So Pablo Bolivar is a Spaniard, studied sound engineering, and then got into DJing and all that. And, you know, this is, think of like Fluxion, Deep Chord, Yagya comes to mind. Very much sort of ambient, dub, ambient, good beats, stunning record. I discovered this on Tidal, I think, by accident. I was looking for something else and this popped up. Phenomenal. So if you're into that, sound quality is amazing. And I think this is their second album together. So check this out if you're into electronic music and that sort of ambient stuff. Next up on the electronic music front, I was waiting for this forever since it was announced and finally came out. Boris Blank, Resonance, one half of Yello. I'll actually drop a link to the deep dive video that I did on Yello below. You can check that out. And I mean, phenomenal. So again, kind of like Pablo Bolivar, electronic music at its finest, superbly well recorded. Just a great Boris Blank double LP. Check it out. It's almost, you know, you could almost put like Yello on here because really, minus Dieter Meyer singing, it's pretty much Yello. But highly recommend it if you're into that kind of music and sound quality. Checking your demo and hi-fi gear, nothing better. Then we have the great Dominique Fils-Aimé, Canadian singer, songwriter. This is her fourth album. I guess this would be a quadrilogy. Is there even such a thing as a quadrilogy? I guess there's a trilogy. Why shouldn't there be a quadrilogy? Quadilogy? Quilogy? I don't know. Whatever. One of those things. Her third album was okay. Wasn't quite into it as much as the first. The first one was her sort of, you know, standout record. Came out. All the audio files went gaga. You heard it in every audio show. This was about maybe 10 years ago. And the second one came out, was okay, not bad. Third one, like I said, wasn't quite to my standards, and I think her standards as well. But this one is kind of going back to that first, second record. Phenomenal. Check her out. Great sound quality. Phenomenally well-recorded vocals. And yeah, just good old music. And then last but not least, the great, the one and only, Ryo Fukui, Japanese jazz pianist, passed away 2016, unfortunately, but played in a club that him and his wife owned for the longest time in Japan. And yeah, just awesome live double album. Actually, the great Giles Peterson curated this and you know, even wrote some, the pleasure in listening to this was was a vast and unreleased trio recording by Araya Fukui. During these times of the global pandemic, this is the healing that we all need. I don't know about that, but this is killer music. Very well recorded, live. And that's that. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys, as always. Check Sunday's video. We're talking about Auris Audio Bayadere 3 turntable. Goody goody. Later, folks.